Looks pretty good, huh? Well, I'm gonna try and make it look a little better. So basically, when I shot the movie, it wasn't in that widescreen that you see it in. I actually shot in the same aspect ratio that digital IMAX cameras are shooting it. And basically what I want to do here is I want to take Lucid and then turn it into the IMAX aspect ratio. I put a poll on my Instagram a little while back. I said it was going to be really hard, but if there was interest for it, I wanted to tackle it. And wouldn't you know it, they said yes. So I'm going to jump in and figure it out. Okay, so basically the issue here is, like I said, I actually filmed in this IMAX aspect ratio and then cropped it back down to widescreen. So the issue with that is I actually cropped it by editing in the aspect ratio. So converting it to IMAX means I have to go back and uncrop everything. And I had it saved, I did the effects that way, I did the editing that way, I exported it that way, like it is fully locked into that widescreen. So undoing that changes a lot. And editing Lucid was not the smoothest thing, to say the least. There was crashes. I didn't realize that the production feature was a thing. So yeah, I had a lot in my workspace, and I had to render things out, I had to save things out, and whenever I did, like whenever I rendered anything, it was always in that widescreen. So undoing that is going to be a little tricky, but I think I can try it. A lot of it is just patience. So the problem I'm running into is in the After Effects files, I basically have to convert every single layer to the correct aspect ratio. So not just the composition, I also have to do all the lens flares and all the lighting, all the whips, which I did like every single frame. So I basically have to go through frame by frame, reanimating the whip, or whenever I have an element 3D layer, like in the skyscraper scene, I basically have to do all that from scratch all over again. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot more work than I thought it would. I guess I might keep trying, but it's not quite looking good. What did I do? So I stumbled across these really cool color correction LUTs. Basically, they're gonna make my GH4 footage look like it was shot on the Arri Alexa, like in the sense that the highlights won't be so intense. And that is a huge game changer. Like, it looks amazing. But basically, my color grading LUTs, my movie LUTs, they don't look as good because I've been using the standard. So I replaced them with the log LUTs that I would be equipped for the Alexa. And they replaced all my LUTs, which means that I would have to go through and color grade every single thing. So on further development, I am finding that I think this might be kind of a dead end. So to break it down, I was looking through, and there are a couple shots that I sent to After Effects to smooth it out and like to make them not so grainy, especially the ones that I had to really heavily color correct to make it look like it was filmed at an earlier time of day. And when I went to the project file, it turns out I had deleted the footage. And I kind of did the same thing with the bit where Noah is bending all the buildings in the alleyway that we see a couple times throughout the film. I lost the footage, so I can't update that. And honestly, those are pretty big chunks. I can like stretch it out. It does fill the frame, but then it's kind of like, what's the point? We're still losing stuff, so Not really looking good. So, I learned a couple things throughout this, and specifically about my process making Lucid overall. Number one, edit the footage as is, like especially with doing a bunch of effects work, and then do the aspect ratio later, because that was my mistake. I was so committed to doing a widescreen version of Lucid that I basically compromised an IMAX version ever being possible. I shot this great footage and then I cropped it over and it still looks great. And that's what I meant for it, but like now I can't do this super special thing without completely ruining it. Another huge thing I learned is always save your project files, never get rid of them. And yeah, and I guess the final thing I'm gonna have to learn is just that, you know, Lucid's good as is. There's an old saying that, you know, movies never really get finished, they just kind of get released. And after reviewing Lucid, there's still so many things that I would like to change. They're really tiny things, like just making footage less grainy, or changing an effect that I got wrong, or that I thought I got wrong. No one can really even tell. But I can't. Not without completely redoing everything. And I guess it kind of just goes to show that, you know, it's fine. Nobody cares as much as I do. Everyone likes it. It is good. And that's just kind of something I'm gonna have to grow and get used to. I am very tremendously proud of the movie I made. And it kind of sucks that I won't get to make it this huge IMAX thing, but maybe one day in the future I'll completely re-edit and remaster the whole thing from scratch, and present that to you guys. But until then, you know, I've heard nothing but good things on this, and this is my first feature film that I've ever made, and I'm already gearing up towards my second, so I just gotta apply the lessons I learned here to the next one and have fun. Thank you guys for watching this vlog. Planning to do a couple more of these, trying out some new techniques. I'm specifically going to cover the pre-production right now of my next feature, Viral, and hope you guys will watch. Until then, maybe give Lucid a watch if you haven't already. Worked really hard on that, and I'm super proud of how it turned out. And yeah, catch you guys later.